Hey there, welcome to Table to Stage. I'm Jordan Worma, and this is my podcast, my continuing mission to explore creativity through the stories and experience of creators from every discipline, from the arts to education and everything in between. Today's creators are Gabriel and Zaida Perez, the husband and wife team behind VP Creative Agency out of Hamden, Connecticut. Gabriel is the business manager and Zaida is the creative director. And as young entrepreneurs, they face some pretty intense creative challenges. So we talked about that and more. As always, please be sure to leave a rating or a review on Apple Podcasts or Podbean or wherever you listen. They really make a huge difference in helping other listeners find the show. You can always reach out directly to me at tabletostagepod.com or email tabletostage@gmail.com. And you can follow the pod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Now, I'm pondering a few changes moving forward, so now is the perfect time to send an email with your comments or questions, maybe things you'd like to see added or taken away or maybe reimagined as the show pushes ahead. I can't improve the show without your feedback, so please send it along. All right, let's get to Gabriel and Zaida Perez of VP Creative Agency.
Yeah, I moved here around 6 years ago, right? Six to 7 years ago, I came for college.
Yeah, 7 because of New York.
Yeah, I graduated. Now I'm here in Southern doing my MBA, and I think I'm almost done.
Okay,
yeah.
That's exciting. Getting close to finishing school. Where did you guys study?
We studied at Albertus Magnus College. It's located in New Haven. So I studied criminal justice. I always wanted to be a cop.
Okay.
And that kind of changed when I met my wife. So
yeah. Oh, okay. So you completely changed everything.
Everything, yeah.
Well, not everything. I study promotional communications and graphic design.
Okay. How did you two meet? If you're studying criminal justice and you're studying graphic design.
Well, it's a very small college.
Yeah.
So I played tennis the 4 years there.
Okay.
He got into the tennis team too, but I also I was a student leader for campus when new students come in, orientation from freshmen.
Okay.
I happened to be
my SOC, yeah.
Yeah, student organization.
So my freshman year, we have a student orientation counselor.
Okay.
Those are called SOCs. What happens is that I actually got lost. I lost my group, and so I found their group. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I'm so serious. So I found her group with another group, and I was like, hey, so I lost my SOC leader. Is it possible I could join you guys? They said, yeah, sure, why not? Oops, sorry. So what happened was I always liked her from the beginning, but I was too shy. I always thought she was out of my league.
She's shaking her head right
now.
Yeah,
no, it's quite a long story.
It's a funny story because I liked him all the time, but then I didn't think he liked me. And then he said, oh, I thought you were out of my league. And he decided to say, oh, I like you my senior year in college.
So you went 4 years before.
Yeah, well,
3 years.
For her, it was 3 years, yeah.
Yeah.
It was 3 years, and then right before she was leaving, I was like, hey, I like you, so I never told you that. And she was like, are you stupid? I was like, wait, what do you mean? She was like, I liked you too. How come you never said anything sooner? Because she was actually going to go to California to study.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was going to go to the New York Film Academy.
Okay.
It's in Los Angeles. I was going to do directing.
Wow. Okay. Well, here we are in Hamden.
Yeah.
All right. When you finished at Albertus Magnus, what was the plan? Did you each have your own path that you thought you were going to be taking? How did you merge your paths at that point?
Well, her life, both our lives really changed because, like I said, I wanted to be a police officer.
Yeah.
I was really focused on doing that. That's why I went to school. I just loved it. I was dedicated to it. But I was still studying because I was in my final year. Mind you, we were still dating at the time. And she went to graduate school because she was going to go from California, but because we fell in love with each other, we were like, I can't go to California because I don't want to be away from you. And I'm like, yeah, so what are we going to do? So she actually applied to Southern. And there was another school, but she chose not to go there. Yeah. Same reason, too far.
Yeah, okay. In New York?
Yeah, it was just...
Which school was it?
It's the same school. They have another campus in
Oh,
New
okay.
York.
All right.
You do, I think, 1 year there and the other year in LA.
Yeah.
But if I was not going to do it. I didn't want to be far from him.
Not even as far as New York, huh?
No.
Okay.
the schedule was a little crazy for her.
Yeah.
It was just too much. We wouldn't see... Plus, we were essentially both still studying, so... You know,
Yeah.
we would just be so busy. So she actually decided to stay local and go to Southern.
Okay.
So she went there, and she actually had an apartment here for a while. And, you know, every time I got the chance, I would hang out with her, go out with her. Duh, she's my girlfriend, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that happened until, let me think. That happened for 2 years. 2 years, yeah, 2 years.
Officially.
Officially, yeah.
Officially, 2 years.
Officially. So what happened was, after that, it wasn't until December of last year that I proposed to her in November last year.
2018?
Officially.
2018, yes.
Officially.
Yeah.
Okay.
He proposed, for family and everyone, it was November. He proposed around August, June,
Yeah.
July.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was more personal for me and her, and then it was like, okay, when are we gonna make this public to surprise everyone? And then we decided, you know, it would be cute around her birthday, and that's what we decided to do. We told everyone, hey, we're engaged. So now the next part's kind of funny. We were planning to have a wedding way later, but since she's an only child, her mom said no. We're gonna have a party.
Okay.
And so they made we decided that on our unofficial anniversary to have our wedding date, which would be December 15th.
Okay.
And so that worked out for everyone, and it was a blast.
So you've only been married a few months.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
And it wasn't so long after you got married that you decided to go into business together. So how did that decision come about? And especially considering your backgrounds and your education are so different. Like you didn't open up a prison together. So how did you make that decision as newlyweds to take it to another step?
Well,
connect your professional lives like this.
Yeah. He always had trouble finding a job right after college.
That's kind of universal these days.
Yeah. So
it's almost like there's a systemic problem that nobody's addressing. It's weird.
Absolutely.
It's a circle. He had trouble all the time finding a job because he didn't want to go to grad school. He wanted to go to a police academy. But then he had his doubts. You had his doubts. Yeah. So I work in different places. When I started working at Southern as a graphic designer, then I moved to a software banking company downtown. They're called Continuity.
Okay.
I did a lot of web design work there. Then I worked with this other company. They're located in Redding, Connecticut. I worked more as a freelancer because they didn't want to me officially hire me.
Right, because they have to pay you more and give you benefits. Yeah.
So after just 2 weeks, they kind of said, okay, we don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
But they made me quit my other job.
Yeah.
Nothing personal, but it kind of left me in the air.
Sure, yeah.
So it was more like we were like, so what are we going to do now? So he got no job. I didn't have any job. So I was like, I'm tired of applying for jobs. People are not replying to me. We're going to do this. We're just going to do our own business.
Yeah.
The things that we like to do. I like photography and I do designs. He likes managing. I hate numbers.
Yeah.
I'm a very sorry.
No, you can
I'm a very people person.
Okay.
So I like to talk to people. I like to manage. I like to a little side note. So the reason why I'm decent at managing is because my family owns a business, a pizza business.
Oh, okay.
So I'm used to having...
You grew up in it. Then.
Yeah, absolutely. Growing up in it. So, we were surrounded by people all the time, day-to-day interactions with everything. So what happened was me and her decided we would take all our savings and invest it into this business. Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Oh, yeah. Trust me. It was... We cried sometimes. Yeah. We definitely cried, but it was...
I may cry for you when I leave here. That's terrifying.
Yeah, so, thankfully we have families that's been supporting us. But, as we spoke before, it's hard, especially as a photographer, because everyone's has is, their craft and they're good at it.
And everybody now with a cell phone thinks they're a photographer too.
Yeah.
Instagram, all these filters on the phone. Yeah.
Absolutely. But, it's
amazing Adobe keeps their stuff going with those built-in filters now and everything.
Yeah. And so it's just, at the end of the day, we decided, we know what our worth is. We both studied, it's a risk.
That's just a statement by itself to know what your worth is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something such a struggle for so many people,
absolutely.
Including me. Like I have the same problem.
It's just, if you're worth $40,000 a year, you're worth $40,000 a year. If you're worth more than that, absolutely. Obviously all of us want to be worth 100,000 or more, but you got to do what you can. Yeah. And I just believe this is something that is definitely going to take us far.
Yeah.
We don't want to go big. We want to go happy and comfortable and love what we do, and also make an impact, because so far with the very few clients that we already have, consistent clients, that they're happy and love our work. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't find this anywhere else. And I'm just like, at the end of the day, I want to help you help me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's working with people and kind of collaborating.
Exactly.
And everybody succeeds when... when individuals succeed, everybody that's involved kind of grows with that. It sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but because you have such different education, different background, you grew up in a family-owned business, and you have this deep artistic education, graphic design, and photography and everything, that combining those two skill sets is really sort of a perfect match when it comes to actually putting a business together. Was that something that you considered when you made the decision to start the business? And I, having just met you, I don't know specifics, but artistic people tend to be, in my experience, a little bit more reserved and not so much the gregarious people person that you seem to be.
Yeah.
So it seems like for you to be the face of the company and then for you to be doing the stuff behind the scenes, does that work for you as a team and as a couple?
Yeah.
To have those roles?
Absolutely. I think it actually works because she's more of the shy, reserved kind of type, like you said. And don't get me wrong, she absolutely is brilliant at what she does. Absolutely, 100%. But she kind of lacks that people person aspect. And I think it's maybe because the managing part that I have at the family business, it's like I know how to negotiate with people. I know how to interact with them. I'm just overall and generally a friendly person. But when I get down to business, she says sometimes I can be a little too rough. It's just nothing personal. It's just like, hey, like I know what we're worth.
Yeah.
And it's just a simple fact that there is bargaining space completely. Sure. But there's a point you can't pass because then I know you're taking advantage of me.
Right. How do you find when that line is coming, and how do you not cross it for yourself just to make sure that you get the business? It's
hard because we both have different values. We actually sit down and talk about it on the side.
Yeah.
What we always tell the person, listen, we're going to have to get back to you because we want to help you have a special moment and we want to be part of that moment. But, at the same time, if you're not willing to accept our terms, it's kind of like we work with people.
Yeah.
We work with people. And sometimes, like I said, she thinks I'm too rough. Sometimes it's a hassle.
Yeah.
It's absolutely a hassle.
That's something I've struggled with a lot, is being able to kind of set that line, be like, you cross at this point, we can't work together anymore. The line keeps moving when when I'm having those talks.
For me, it's I look at it more, I guess, factual and numerical. I've always just been that type of person. I look at the numbers. I see how much can we sacrifice, how much can we not sacrifice.
Right.
And then I look at the bare minimum. And if it's like the bare minimum, once you pass that point, it's too much for me. Yeah. I can't do it. I decide, listen, I can give you these options. It may not be everything you want, but I want to work with you.
Sure.
On the other hand, she has different things. She's more of the influential type, I guess you can say. It's more of the meaning. She's the artist. She's like, listen, I want to... I'll let her speak for herself.
Well, I don't know what exactly. I was a little lost when you were saying what exactly.
Well, the way I see it is just that she is proud of her work. I'm proud of her work. And she wants to see her work out there. That is enough to,
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I probably didn't explain it right.
Mean. Okay, so there are times when we have people coming in and they want either a logo or they want a website, they want a brochure. And obviously we have a set of different prices for all these different artwork. A
Right.
logo has, for example, the lowest that we can make a logo is $100. The lowest we can make a website is $500. So sometimes I'm like, okay, we're new. I'm willing to let it go for this amount of money if, if this person gives us exposure, tells what to do, things like that. And sometimes he's like, I don't want to give it so low because then we're not, what is this phrase that you
Selling
said?
ourselves short.
Yeah,
Right,
selling ourselves short.
Okay.
But I want to get us out there somehow because everyone starts at that point.
Right.
But it's also true what he says. We can't sell ourselves too low because other companies that may be the same that we do may see us as like a very low quality, even though we're not, because we're selling ourselves.
Right, because the price is too low.
It's too low,
right.
so
Yeah, there's that tricky spot there where you have to price yourself high enough where you can make the money you need, not so low that people think they're not even worth talking to. Cause,
exactly.
Yeah. That's tricky. It's got to be a tough place to be.
Well, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. The way I see it, to me, is like, for example, the family business I have, it's a mom and pop pizza shop.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people say they love our food. Other people, say they don't love our food. So one thing I'll just use as an example is, for example, we get compared to Domino's, Pizza Hut, stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
And we're like, okay, well, everyone has different tastes. I understand that. But at the same time, the way I like to see it, we're affordable and at a quality.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now, is this a New Haven area pizza place?
Yes.
Being compared to Domino's?
Yeah. Trust me. New Haven's a beautiful place of different cultures and everything, especially when it comes to pizza. But,
yeah. It's a battleground when it comes
absolutely.
to pizza.
Absolutely. And so, I guess what I'm trying to say at the end of the day is I think people need to look out more for the mom and pop kind of shops.
Oh, yeah.
Those are definitely the businesses where it's definitely 100% worth it.
Sure.
It's better than going to these corporate places. It's like, oh, why would I drop $1,000 here? Then I could, and guaranteed half the things a mom and pop shop would guarantee.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What do you see from? I hate disparaging anybody, but a business model like Fiverr.
I personally don't like Fiverr.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm curious because I feel like that's that area where the entry point is so low that you have no guarantee of quality.
Yeah.
There's no real quality control there, and you don't get to meet the person you're working with. So when you have something like what you have here, where you get to sit down and speak face to face with the owners and the people that are going to be creating your stuff, how do you make your stuff stand out when we're in a sort of a climate where you can get a logo for $5?
$5, yeah. It's hard. I think I remember you. We have we still go back to our old college, Alberta's, and they hire us for some stuff like photography and logos. And we have a friend that he was like, well, I can get this logo for $5. And I'm like, you could get it for $5, but you're gonna get the final version. That's it. What if you want any changes?
Right.
What we do here is we make a logo, you pay for the logo, but we're not gonna charge you for extra edits.
Okay.
You paying for what you want, for what you're looking for, and it's high quality work. I'm not gonna charge you just because you want an A at the top or you want a B at the bottom. It's not. I think designers that do that are not. I think their ethics are not very. They're questionable.
Yeah.
Why would you charge someone to change the color or put an A at the bottom, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah. But if the entry point now for a logo or any sort of something that can be done remotely by somebody in any location is now $5. And as you said, your entry point is not $5. Yours is substantially higher than that. And I'm not suggesting it shouldn't be, but how do you make sure that your work stands out in a way where when somebody sees it, they know that was not $5 and it's worth paying that extra money for? Is it just the quality of the work, or is it actually in the ability to face-to-face meet with people and be able to customize to a higher degree?
For me, I'll speak on my part. I believe it's in the ongoing relationship. One thing I strongly believe is always have interactions with somebody. We're not a one hit and miss kind of place or hit and go. It's more like, for example, like Zaida explained, if there's small changes and everything, you'll always have an open account. We won't always, like, we won't, as soon as you buy it, okay, we won't disappear. We'll check up on you. Every now and then we check on people, on our clients, saying, hey, how's everything going? Is there anything you'd like to change? You know, it's just a simple fact that, I guess it goes back to what I said earlier, is like, I like to help our clients because at the end of the day, it helps us. We're proud of our work, our quality. For example, one of our favorite clients right now is she owns a nail salon in Norwalk.
Okay.
It's called In Style Nails. And so what happens is, and blow dry bar, excuse me. She'll get mad at me if I didn't include that part. So what happens is we like to work a lot with her because she sent us an email the other day because her website just went live. And we told her, hey, being straightforward, another thing that one thing I think of value that people lack, especially businesses, being honest. I told her, I said, listen, your website is live. The only problem is, for some reason, we're looking into it. The iPhone version of that website is not working. Other people would say, hey, I'll get back to you in a week. No, we're working on it. We're on it. We're definitely on it. When I tell you we're doing something, we're definitely doing something.
Okay.
And she respects that. And she's like, listen, she sent us the email the other day saying, thank you. I love all your work. You guys are the most professional people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
And it's just the fact that Zaida said she got so happy just reading that. Yeah. It's just the fact that I'm proud of that. You know what I'm saying?
It makes your heart warm. Like, I didn't sleep for the past 3 days working on that.
Oh no!
And yeah, we were here Saturday till almost midnight, and I was going crazy. Why is this not working? What's not? And finally, we talked to her. We told her, and I thought she's gonna be mad, but
yeah,
she's happy.
Oh, that's good. I mean, to be able to get feedback and work with people is hard to do these days in just about any field. How did you decide that you wanted to study graphic art in school? How did you first develop an interest in that?
Well, I'm gonna go all the way back where I'm from. Since I'm from Dominican Republic, the things over there are totally different. Mm-hmm. There isn't a major called graphic design over there. Okay. It's called advertising. Like, sorry, I keep hearing this. It's advertising. So advertising over there covers graphic design, promotional arts, video, and I wanted to do that over there. Yeah. And well, I came here because I want to play tennis, and it's hard to find in the States a college that offers advertising as a major. Yeah. And graphic design as everything together. Mm-hmm. So I came into Alberta's and I look at the catalogs and they have promotional communication. It was basically everything that I wanted to do. The only problem they didn't have was graphic design. So I just took another major, put it in together, and everything came. I decided, okay, let's do this. Yeah. And I decided to do that because since high school I like photography, graphic arts. They always have this computer science class where they teach you Photoshop, coding over there. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I always had the theory that I'm not going to work in something that makes me fall asleep at the desk. Yeah. I wanted something that I'm proud and I'm having fun, that I can listen to music, that I can play around. Yeah, yeah. So you can see here at the office, there's a bunch of things.
Oh, it's like a playground in here.
Yeah, I can.
It's like something from one of those Silicon Valley TV shows where everybody's playing foosball or whatever.
Yeah, I can't. I have to be playing it where I have to be working. Sorry. Yeah. Where I feel fun.
Yeah, I mean, did you grow up drawing? Were you an artist at some point?
Oh, she's always been an artist. Yeah. It's just like me being straightforward. I'm not I am an artist in different ways. Yeah. Just not, I guess, in the traditional sense you would say. This office would be simple if it wasn't because of her. Because I'm, like I told you, I'm more of like the numbers, factual. I guess minimalist, I guess you can say. Yeah. I'm that type of person, and she's just very like energetic, has to bring in life, like vintage for some things, as you can see, and it's just I don't know.
He would have just 2 desks,
and
I can't do that.
It goes back to, like you said, like it works because we're just completely opposite in a way, and it's just the fact that like we complete each other. So that's one thing that I think really helps us.
Okay. Yeah. But when you first got into like graphic design and stuff like that, was it an extension of a different like a more analog art that you had been doing earlier, drawing or painting or anything? Did you do any of that before you got into the computer stuff?
Yeah, when I was a kid,
okay.
I used to do painting, drawing. I used to go to painting classes with acrylics, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there was a point where I didn't want to use my hands anymore for some reason. I don't know.
Okay.
I used to get dirty a lot, and I was like, I don't want to do these things. I can't. I can't handle it. So that's when I pick up the computer part.
Okay.
The computers has always been a thing in my life. My dad is a computer fanatic. He always brings technology into the house. I think I get it from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loves everything with technology, like Mac computers, everything. And I think I pick it up from him.
Do you do the design work on a Mac or do you use a PC?
Yeah, on a Mac. He has a PC. I tried it. I can't.
In this office, there's
one?
Shame.
I can't handle PC.
Yeah.
It has to be a Mac. I can't. Even though it might be the same, but I don't know. I feel more comfy with the Mac.
Yeah.
Just for the record, it's not because of preference. It's just I'm just saying. It's just a simple fact that I see something that's working, I'll use it till either it dies or I kill it. One or the other.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So when you're meeting with clients and they're giving you their idea, like here's the project I have. I want to market it somehow. I want a logo. I want to do some photos, whatever it is that they want to do. What is it that you're doing, both of you, to bring your skill set to their project and kind of match up what your vision is with what they're trying to accomplish? Like, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Well, absolutely.
So what's your process like? How do you integrate what you can do into what other people are looking to have done?
So when it's face-to-face and someone comes into the office, we have the first thing we want to do is get them comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
We want to show them that we're human, that we care, that we offer them coffee, snacks, water, whatever, and then we let them relax. And then the next thing we do is that Zaida created what I would call a creative worksheet. And it says, hi, hello, welcome to our office. What are you here for? This. Oh, I'm here because I want to know how to grow my brand. Or I'm here because I want to create a logo. Or I'm here because I want a website.
Mm-hmm.
From there, it says there's like a color sheet. Like, for example, what are your favorite colors? What do you want your business colors to be associated with? And variety.
So this is like from ground up. People are coming with nothing.
From nothing,
trying
absolutely.
To
build. Or they're trying to rebrand their brand.
From nothing, rebrand it. Some people come here for fun, just just to see. Hey, I want a logo for my YouTube channel, or hey, small things, anything from modeling, fashioning, all that stuff. And from there, what I do is I like to do research personally. Marketing techniques and things that are related to the field that they're looking for.
Yeah.
That's what I do on my end. Zaida is more of the creative aspect side. She's the one that, I guess, I do more of the science part of when it comes to marketing, like what people look for.
Okay.
Zaida does the creative part where it's like what makes them unique, if that makes sense.
No, it does. Now, that kind of brings up something interesting. So if you're doing all of the research into stuff, are you doing design work while he's doing the research, or are you waiting until he's done with it?
No, so what we do sometimes, usually a client calls us, they tell us this is what we are, this is what we're looking for. So he starts the research, I start doing in my head, okay.
Yeah.
For example, this is what we did with the salon in Norwalk. They tell us, she reached out to us, say, I'm a salon, we are doing blow dry, and we're also doing nails, but I don't want it to be like a regular salon logo. Okay. So we met with her 2 days after, but a day before we were doing research. I was doing different logos to bring her what she would like it. So we brought like 7 different logos. Mm-hmm. And from that point on, now she knows what she's expecting and what she wants. So it's something that not a lot of companies or not a lot of design agencies do. They wait for you to come in. They after you fill out what you want, mm-hmm. After maybe 3 to 4 weeks, they send you a design. We work. You tell us what you want. We make something similar, and you see it. And from that point on, then you tell us, we want to work with you guys. What exactly I'm looking for? I love this. Just add a few more stuff, or sometimes they just like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And another thing, sorry, that I want to include is that sometimes they don't know. I guess, the secret message they're trying to have behind it.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I had a client that come in asking for a marketing plan, and I said, tell me about your business. And he told me everything. He told me about how long he's been doing it and everything. And I told him, you have these core values. For example, you don't present it in your brand, but you have family as your value. You have, patriotism as your value. And
Sure.
he was like, I've noticed that, but I never really thought about it that way. And I said, well, it depends. How far do you want to represent these values?
Right.
And it's like people just sit there and like, I never thought about that. What I was already doing already had that much of a meaning. And I guess it goes part of that researching part where it's like, this is something that affects you, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when you've been doing the research into stuff,
Mm-hmm.
at what point does your research and all of the science end of things get mashed together with what you're doing on the artistic end of
Creative.
things? So how do you weave those two aspects together?
So what happens is it really depends on the client, because if there's something that they're dead hard set on, obviously we're going to go around their taste. Like we have a potential client. She still hasn't confirmed things with us,
Okay.
but what she does is medical related services. But however, what she wanted to keep was colors related to where she graduated from.
Okay.
And we told her, okay, these are the potential pros and these are the potential cons. We recommend using, obviously, the colors that like blue. What else was it? Blue, red, and
What, her colors?
no, the ones that we found that benefited.
Oh,
her.
it was blue, white. Colors that are neutral, more like bring peace, because she's related to the medical
Mm-hmm.
area. So the colors that she wants are
You
more.
want to stay away from red, I would think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I could because just to justify myself real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
To clarify a few things, she's related to medical, like nursing services,
Mm-hmm.
not emergency. So when you think, like medical emergency, you see red, blue,
Mhm.
all that stuff. That's why I said that. But in her case, she wants colors that because her services are more aimed towards the elderly.
Mm-hmm.
You want, as they had mentioned, calm colors, things that things that will calm you, that relate to more elderly audience. And so that's the research we found, and we created these multiple logos. And she ended up loving some of them she didn't, because she was like, I really just hate that color green. And then we were
Yeah.
just like, well, okay, we understand that. So what color would you like? And you got to find the perfect middle ground. Like I said, we haven't finalized things yet. That's what we're still in the process of. But that's just interesting stuff that you learn along the way.
That's kind of interesting as far as like the psychology of colors. Do
Mhm.
you ever get
Yeah.
into having to work with that sort of aspect when you're talking about how you're going to brand somebody, like what colors you're going to use and the psychological effects that they can have on people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, with her, I was having a little bit of trouble because she wants yellow, red, and what was the other color? I think it was something like orange. Nothing.
Yeah.
It was very vivid colors. So,
Well, orange is like that psychologically crazy color, right?
Yeah.
That's the one that.
so
yeah.
she wanted colors that target hunger, like it's things that you see in restaurants like McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell. These restaurants choose those colors particularly because they make you hungry subconsciously. It's not
Mhm.
because they just like the color red or they just like the color yellow.
Right.
So she wanted these colors, and I was having a little bit of trouble. He likes to call it a writer's block because I'm like sitting down here and looking at her current logo and looking at our logos that we have been making. I'm like, she wants this, but it doesn't go with what she wants to
Yeah.
say. It doesn't go with the brand she wants to sell.
Yeah.
So what we did was I actually mixed those colors together and maybe incorporated them in lines. But I made it neutral. I didn't make the logo to be like red, yellow, and orange. I put maybe a line with a red that is just like a highlight of the medical area. But that's how we overcome those challenges.
When you've got somebody, doesn't matter what field it is, but if you've got somebody who is really insistent on wanting these specific colors or specific elements or whatever in their logo, but that using that is going to either be damaging to the brand or even if it's something as simple as not maximizing the effect of it. How hard do you push back on not incorporating those elements or those colors to make sure that you can actually have the most productive results in the work that you're doing.
It's kind of tough. You never want to say no.
Right.
And especially, it's just, I guess pride could be part of it. Because you also want to be part of...
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah, you also want to produce something that you're proud of.
Yeah.
And so there's a limit where you can say, we can incorporate it. For example, like Zaida was explaining. We incorporated it through her website by creating like the headers, I guess you can say, like headers, blocks, the colors that she wanted, and they came out perfectly. However, if you smack them all together, it won't work. What I'll do on my part, we'll tell you on the creative and, I guess you can say it, the scientific part. It's like, I'll inform you, I'll let you know, I'll probably try to push back maybe once, and then that's it. I won't anymore because I'll respect your wishes over, because I think the worst thing to tell somebody else is you can't do it. That's just really something you shouldn't say to somebody. You can't do it because I think it does more damage than you think. Even on like a mental fact, it's just like, why would you discourage someone for trying to produce something that is completely different from everybody else?
Right. Is there a point where you have to turn down a job because of something like that, though?
At this point, no, we haven't. And I don't want to say fortunately, and because the reason why is like, why would I turn someone down? Yeah. But I think it's just the fact that we'll do the best to our abilities, and I think Zaida may agree with this with me. But if I don't think we can meet your expectations, I'll let you know. Yeah. And there won't really be any hard feelings at all because there is we both ourselves are growing continuously. Sure. And there's a level, I guess you can say, craft that we have. And if there's someone who has a better craft than us, then I would recommend you to them because I don't want to give you something where I'm not proud of. And, if I know for sure you can get it somewhere else, like if I trust that person, then I'll recommend them to you. If, like, for example, we are okay at illustrations. We would rather recommend our friend to do illustrations because he's way better at us than that. Okay. It's not that we won't say no. We'll just say, hey, there's an alternative option. You know what I'm saying?
Like if you want a particular, like a character illustration, like, I don't know, like maybe an anime figure or something, we would recommend it more to him because he is a master in that. Yeah. He loves to do that. That's the type of artist he is.
So what is the stuff that you guys are specializing in right now?
We're very good at making like logos and marketing materials like brochures, business cards.
I guess more towards the advertising. 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 It's just part of it is that it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. People don't want to provide us the chance to show them that we are worth it. Mm-hmm. For example, one thing we definitely want more is weddings. Okay. It's not that we're not bad at them. It's just the simple fact that people just have either better options or the more affordable options. Right. And it's not hard feelings because we actually experienced this ourselves. We actually went with an affordable option and we regretted it a little. Yeah. Well, we regret it a lot. Yeah. And so what happens is it's just I wouldn't wish that on anybody else. Yeah. So if there's a reason why they don't feel comfortable or if I don't feel comfortable, that's something you can't change for the rest of your life. You get what I'm saying? Oh, yes. No, like, believe it or not, I have to have family members send me better pictures than what the photographer took. And so that's why, like I told you, I feel like honesty is a big part of it. Sure. Like, you got to know your worth. If you feel like you can't meet their expectations, then don't do it. Yeah. Then don't do it. Recommend them to someone or just be honest with them and tell them, I can do the best I can. And if you're not proud of it, then no hard feelings.
So I know that the two of you do the bulk of all the work here, but I know you also mentioned that you have either interns or other people that will come in and you'll work with occasionally as well. And I'm wondering what the dynamic is for you collaborating with other creators on projects. Is it, because this is your business, how much say do you give freelancers on projects where you're collaborating with? Is it equal parts? Is it more directed by your own creative visions? How does that work?
You want me to do it?
Yeah, you answer your part.
I would say both. They're more directed towards what the client wants and towards what we see. But maybe there are things that I don't see because I'm so focused on something else from the client that maybe this freelancer sees. You know? I earlier today, the same problem that I behind with this website, I reached out to a friend that he's a developer. I told him, hey, I can't figure this out. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Can you take a look at it? And he's not going to charge us. It's just an advice,
Yeah.
Maybe I'm missing something that you can see. Just because I do this more often than you doesn't mean that he doesn't have the ability to see things that I can't see.
Right.
It doesn't make him better, doesn't make him worse.
No, a fresh set of eyes can be a big thing.
It's a difference. He sees things different. I see things different. Maybe when I'm doing design, I always tell him, come take a look. I even call my parents, can you guys take a look at this? Because there are things that I don't see that they might be able to see. Like sometimes he's a little rough on me. He's like, why did you put this color? Why did you make this? It's the way he thinks, the way his mind is. But I always ask him for opinions.
Yeah.
So I think on my end, it is what you say. It's like it's kind of even. One thing we value ourselves and as a company is constant communication.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you'll find it anywhere else. But like, for example, if I can't reach you, or if if my work phone's about to die, I would text my client and say, hey, here's my personal line, call me for an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, if some crazy reason, if the website goes down, that's my personal line. Only use that for an emergency. Don't, text me if it's like the website's down or if we're in the field taking pictures or something and, you absolutely need to reach me, that's there. But obviously I have my work phone and those are for business hours. And then I don't think you'll find anywhere else like, hey, this is my personal line. I love to talk to people. I like to tell them, hey, rely on me.
Yeah.
I want the best for you. I want the best for me. So I don't think you'll find that anywhere else. It's just constant communication. You'll never hear us. If you don't hear back from us, it's because either A, we're in a field doing an event or something.
Yeah.
Or B, it's just we're already fixing your problems. So, we're already fixing it, so we're at the busy moment. But I'll call you right back as soon as I get the chance. Yeah.
Where would you like to see this business of yours go over the next year or two? I mean, obviously, you want like the big clients.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, yes.
Waiting for Starbucks to call. We need a logo redesign. This one hasn't caught on. Whatever it is.
Absolutely. It's not that. I think we have personal differences. I personally don't want those big clients. It's every once in a while it'd be nice. Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. Like a big restaurant or something, or a local chain. There's too many things that can hold you back, if that makes sense. There's too many strict guidelines you have to follow. There's not much creativity.
There's a lot of baggage that comes with a big company like that. The history of it, all the different people that you have to answer to. Yeah.
Like, let me use Disney, for example. Anything associated with Disney, you have to follow it by the line. Sure, Absolutely. And
any rework, redesign, if you did a bad job, the entire world would go against you. Which agency did that? Oh, they did that. No.
And so, I think our focus, at least my priority for now, is to grow the business and be able to have like 5 full-time employees, including ourselves.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's our goal so far at the moment. It's not that I don't like working with freelancers. I'd rather have them under my belt and say, hey, I can depend on you guys. I know you guys specialize in this. Let's do this. Let's get this done. You know what I mean? And like an actual team. It's actually one of Zaida's dreams always been actually to be a creative director.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I put that title on me.
Why do you want to be a director?
I don't know. I think it's more the fact that I want to spread the creativity that I have learned over the years, and also want to hear from others peers we share the same values within the field. Mm-hmm. So I just like to direct people. Look, I think this is better because ABC, or why you think this is better. A director doesn't necessarily mean is a boss. It's someone who listens and someone who can guide you through the best path.
Yeah. Okay. This is sort of, you guys are sort of unique in this starting a business in a field that is dominated.
Absolutely. By the older players.
But the guys that would have been on Mad Men.
Yeah.
So what's that experience been like for you to enter this as business owners and as creative people into a world that until recently has not included very many people outside of one specific demographic?
So I'll answer more as an outsider. And the reason why is because, like I said, I wasn't necessarily involved in this from the beginning in terms of creative design. I've never had that skill. Zaida can tell you as a graphic designer herself. I'll tell you more as an owner.
Yeah.
So what I've noticed is there's these older players who not necessarily they're outdated. It's they're using the same thing over and over and over, and it's just that their name carries more weight than their actual work. And it's not to disrespect these companies. Don't get me wrong. It's not that at all. There's a reason why they're there. However, businesses, especially around here, are predominantly owned by older people who are not necessarily familiar with techniques that are being used today.
Sure.
And so the best way to put that is, for example, even with marketing problems we're having right now, for example, even podcasts. Podcasts are aimed more towards a younger generation, not necessarily, doesn't have to be. It's just the fact that we're more familiar with technology and podcasts.
Right.
The older people would stumble across it because they saw a post on it or something like that. So, for example, some research recently, for example, would be older generation people are more likely to use Facebook. It's just something that it's easier, simple. It's like, share, comment. That's it.
Right.
Younger people are more accustomed to Instagram and Snapchat, and that's anywhere between younger than 18 to I think somewhere around 35 or older. Okay. It's not that people older than 35 can't. It's just that the people who are constantly using it, that's what it's been found.
Right.
And so what we found marketing is nothing beats guerrilla marketing, flyers, face to face, old school billboards, all of that.
Yeah.
However, all that those older players already have all the resources to that.
Sure.
So they're blocking it from you, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's a little harder.
Well, I mean, it seems to me that the older, I don't want to say older because I'm almost part of that. Because I am not part of the Instagram, Snapchat generation myself. I use Instagram and I'm learning to use Instagram. Snapchat, I've never even seen in person, right? But it seems to me that the current crop of people that are running advertising agencies or doing a lot of web design and marketing stuff are really dependent upon younger generations to actually do the content creation at zero to low cost.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And,
and it seems like it's because their skill set sort of stopped developing right around the time the internet came online.
And then what happens is, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, is, like as a business owner, as a business owner, I agree with this tactic, though I don't necessarily personally agree with it, is grab a fresh college student and then shake as much as you can. Yeah. And it's just a simple fact that they'll say, because literally Zaida's been denied full-time 40,000 plus salaries because, you're too new. You're too green.
Right. Too young. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna pay you in experience.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And so as a business owner, though I understand, it's like I said, they take advantage of these college students who really want to make a living out of this. And it's like they can't really get far. And not only that, they don't really let them get to choose what to do. Yeah. They have to follow those guidelines. Now, Zaida has a different perspective as a graphic designer, but as a business owner, that's my perspective.
Yeah.
Well, I think they, like you said, is dominated by that specific type of demographic. I think marketing and advertising, it's very, how do I explain this? It's a hard field to get in. Sure. As a young kid or girl that came out of college. If you have this dream of being an advertising firm, it's gonna be very, very hard. I tried when I was a junior in college going into Grace Advertising, is a advertising agency in New York, in Manhattan.
Yeah.
One of the biggest ones. I just tried even for an internship. I never heard back from them, never. I did try for a full-time job around here at an ad agency.
You also tried Apple.
Yeah. It's a corporate.
Geez,
yeah. I think these people are wrong when they see denying young kids because they just, I don't know if you're familiar with the book 48 Laws of Power.
I don't think so.
So I think the main reason why these powerful people are saying no to these young kids and people like me that have a dream and wanted to go to an ad agency is because they might feel threatened for their skills and abilities and way of thinking.
Yeah.
because they don't want to, if I hire this kid, maybe somehow he's going to make me look like an idiot. Somehow it's going to make me look like a person that I'm not worth what I studied for back in the years, you know?
There used to be this mentality where you always want to prop up the next generation to be able to do things better than you can do now. But at some point that's kind of shifted to, I got to protect my job.
Yeah.
And that means keeping everybody else
Yeah.
out of, like, keeping the knowledge to myself.
Yeah.
So that there is no threat from outside.
And
it seems to me that you guys are positioned pretty well, because I think everybody's aware that the demographics of the country are changing, especially up in this part of the country in the Northeast, but everywhere, where your voices are going to be more in demand, I would think, as the old white guys are retiring and the new generation of business owners and, you know, community leaders are going to look less and less like those old white dudes.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as new business owners in this field, have you been able to think about how you can position yourselves and be ready for that when that shift really starts taking off?
I think
It's going to happen.
Yeah, it is. Maybe anytime soon, you know?
Yeah.
I think, especially people like us, we have a niche. We all bring something different. You know, I think in advertising and marketing, it's the same thing over and over and over, same type of content. And they're doing a good job. That's why they are in the top, you know.
Right.
But they also are not giving the opportunity to other type of people raise their voice, raise their creativity, their abilities. I think when that moment comes to us, we will present our difference. What makes us so different? I think one of the things that make us so different is because we are very one-on-one. Our client comes in, we treat them like a baby.
Yeah.
Like our first client is like our first baby to us. She trusted us. We met with her. Till this day, she's still like, I love you guys. You guys make so professional work. So I think you kind of lose that type of treatment when you go into a big agency. Any agency out of New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, you kind of lose that.
Right, you're just an account number.
Yeah, just
at
an
some
account
point,
number.
Yeah.
Oh, I want a commercial. No one is gonna call you. What would you like from that commercial? Someone is gonna
just take your money and run.
Just take your money, or just say, okay, what are you expecting from this commercial? Blah blah blah. We want to be next to you, asking you, what is your vision for this commercial? What is your vision? What do you want the people to see in your brand? That's something that is lacking. In many agencies today. So.
Yeah. So when that shift comes, I feel like we'll definitely be ready. And that shift is going to bring a whole lot of new perspective, a whole lot of new artists, a whole lot of new voices.
Yeah.
I feel like
we need new voices.
Oh, absolutely,
so badly.
Absolutely. And it's part of it. I think this shift. I guess like people like us, we learn to appreciate each other more.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer, and you got to appreciate the little things in life. Whether it's like a coffee in the morning or something like that can make your whole day.
Or 11 cups of coffee in the morning, as some of us may need.
But,
I am a coffee lover. You can ask him.
But it's just like I said, like I feel like even something like what you're doing right now, it's just you're reaching out to these artists and you're giving them a voice. That's something that people need to hear. That's something that people need to appreciate more. You know what I mean? And the people who do appreciate it, you know, I don't know if they reach out to you and stuff, but I know I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's just the simple fact that you need more creative people. You need to give them the chance, and you just need to learn how to accept each other, really.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it, I think.
Well, I mean, this is a big shift from where you thought you were going to be doing.
Absolutely.
Not too long ago.
Yeah.
So when you kind of pictured your life in corrections or police, the police field, law enforcement, I imagine that you would think about that and be happy with with that as a life choice. Now that you are where you are, has it changed your perspective on what you used to be looking for? Like, do you look back at that time where you wanted to be a police officer as something that was a missed opportunity, or do you feel like you're where you should be now?
You know, I'm going to be honest. I still don't know to this day.
Yeah.
I definitely love what I do now. It's just something where I had a passion for so many years.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, holy cow. It's not that I can't do it,
Right.
but I love this more right now. I love this. I love my wife. I love everything that I do. And it's just the fact that I don't see it as a missed opportunity. I just see it as an alternative road I could have gone down.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, I definitely did not see this coming. I did envision myself owning a business one day.
Yeah.
Maybe a coffee shop or something. But, that's actually, believe it or not, another one of our goals one day down the road. Who knows when?
Yeah.
Like, except it'd be 24/7.
Do you know anybody that could help you with marketing?
Hopefully we already have, a lot more clients than anybody.
So, but now that you're here where you are, do you find that this is, I don't want to say filling a void, but like I know for myself, when I'm not feeling part of a creative moment or whatever it is, I'm aware of it. I know that I'm not doing those things. So I don't know, like as someone like yourself who was not looking at the creative arts and creativity as a career at one point, do you find that being involved in this kind of thing has opened up anything new for you, or maybe exposed something you didn't know was there?
Honestly, the best part would be put it is that it did open new things. I actually learn more every day, every once in a while. For example, marketing new things for clients and stuff. And never in my life would I know the information I know now if I went down the police route.
Right.
But I think the only thing that never changed was I've always loved making a difference in a way.
Okay.
Now this is more in the artistic field. Now I'm helping other businesses grow. Now, for example, somebody can cherish a birthday party video and photos for the rest of their life. I enjoying being part of that. The other part was just making more a difference in the community.
Yeah.
So either way, in a sense, I'm still doing the same thing, just I guess less hands-on, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Waking up in the morning, arresting bad guys and stuff.
Yeah.
And now it's more sitting behind a desk and working on numbers, talking to people.
Yeah.
So I feel like I told you, it works out. It definitely works out.
Yeah.
But I think it has been rough for me personally, because it's something that I'm there are moments, and you can ask my wife this, I felt like a failure. And the reason why I felt like a failure is because I don't know anything about this field other than the managing part. And there's times where we're slow. We're absolutely slow. And I'm just like, what am I doing wrong? And it's just, I'm so used to doing things hands-on.
Yeah.
But, there's slow seasons. And it's still hard for me to understand that, because I'm just such a hands-on person, always there, always, I guess, always moving.
Yeah.
But now that, for example, wedding season, that was a term I wasn't aware of before getting involved with my wife and everything.
There's two of them.
Yeah. So it's just like, it makes sense, but I didn't think as a business it would
make an impact.
It would make an impact.
Oh yeah.
You get what I'm saying? For example, like my wife's the photographer. She knows the difference between what time's good to take pictures, what's not. I'm just a person like, you can get business anytime, right? But no, that's not how it worked out. So going through this has definitely changed me.
Yeah.
It definitely has pushed me to be a little stronger, because like I said, there's just times where it's slow and I'm like, oh my God, am I a failure?
Yeah.
And it's not. It's just a slow season or a slow moment. And it's just, you just got to learn how to keep going and deal with it.
Yeah. So as the creative half of this team, do you ever feel like, because I'm sure that, as you're going through the slow times, that's got to have an impact on how creative you're feeling, like what your output is. Yeah. So how do you adjust to those times?
Sometimes I'm like he said, it's a day that not even our phones are ringing. There's nothing to do, and sometimes I'm so.
Well, I mean, there's a foosball table and a dartboard.
Exactly. Sometimes he's just throwing the.
And I'm struggling not to grab that guitar, by the way. Everybody's going to appreciate that I'm not, but it is there.
Sometimes I have sometimes there's like a big bag over there.
Yeah.
I just throw myself in there. I'm just look at the ceiling. I'm like, what are we doing wrong? Like, what is the problem? But then it's like he said, there's slow seasons. Just because a day is slow doesn't mean that the next day is going to be a slow.
Right.
So what I do is sometimes look for inspirations online, what other agencies are doing, what other photographers are doing, things to learn new. Like the other day I learned something new with lighting and things to do online with the photography. So I'm like, okay, next time we have a friend that wants to be modeling, we're gonna try that. It's something inspired to look forward for the next day. So
okay. All right. I think that's it. It's been over an hour.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Is there anything else you guys want to... there's one other thing I want to do, but before I get to that, is there anything you want to talk about that you feel like we've missed?
Not really talk about. I guess you could say comment. I wish there was more young business owners. Luckily, I can't say the same for everyone, but it's just a simple fact that we were able to have. We took a chance. That's one.
Yeah,
we took a chance.
A
huge
chance.
Yeah. Right now, overall, because we're still growing in terms of what we've invested, we're still negative, but hopefully we'll make it back by the end of the year. And I think people are too focused on the short term instead of the long term, because it's just a simple fact that like people think, oh, I've invested in this and it's going to come back immediately. It's not.
Right.
It's not. I can definitely guarantee you I've made so many relationship and impacts on people that I didn't think originally. Like, for example, our first client, she's the world to us because she makes our day. She's like, you guys are the best. I appreciate everything you've done. You're helping me. And it's just a simple fact that it's like, that's what we need more. We need more one-on-one. We need more young business owners out there. And preferably, I wish there was more minority business owners out there, and not something related to like, it's not that I'm not going to say it's easy, but like I see it whenever I do see a lot of minority business owners, it's related to food.
Sure.
And that's just from what I've seen from my community, from Fairhaven, New Haven area. I don't really see a lot of minorities in, I guess you can say, more predominantly white businesses.
Yeah. Well, I think those businesses tend to try to protect that business.
Yeah. But
it's too bad. I love seeing new businesses, especially with younger business owners. Where can people find more about you online? What do you have? Website, social media? Where can people find you?
We have our website. We have everything.
Yeah,
website, Instagram, Facebook.
Well, one thing we personally haven't gotten
LinkedIn.
to is like we have handed out flyers and stuff, but I guess it's more people don't want to take a chance with us. I guess it's more of that. Like, for example, a lot of
the area too.
Well, partially is the area. The area can be at sometimes certainly dry. Just not enough, I guess, people willing to commit to websites and stuff. But like, for example, one competition I definitely see ourselves is like at websites like Wix and stuff like that. It's just the simple fact that people, it's not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. Everyone's in charge of their what they want, their own business and stuff. But like, they'll say, why should I pay the price for this when I can go somewhere cheaper?
So the website is vpcreativeagency.com. What's your Instagram?
VP Creative Agency.
VP Creative.
Oh, nice.
Everything is VP Creative.
Yeah,
Okay.
everything.
So the website, Instagram. Are you on Twitter?
No.
We're not really a fan of Twitter.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out myself.
It's not that it's bad. It's just more of like, I guess, just make it more posts, if that makes sense. Like simple, basic, quick quote things, and it's.
So if people wanted to call you, what's the phone number?
Oh man, where's the business card?
We had two numbers. 203.
Yep.
491.
Yep.
8565.
Okay.
And 203 491 6919.
Okay. And do you have an email address people can reach you?
Yeah, so usually if people just want to reach us out for general things, we try to use what's our info email. Okay. It's info@vpcreativeagency.com. And then if you want like just quotes, it would be gz@vpcreativeagency.com.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm surprised you haven't asked.
Asked what?
What VP stands for.
Oh, I thought it was. What was I thinking? I was thinking VIP.
No. Well, no.
Okay.
What a VP actually stands for is both our last names combined. Velasco Perez.
Okay.
Mine's Velasco, his is Perez.
Yeah.
Velasco Perez.
All right. Interesting. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was just thinking it was VIP. I knew it was VP.
Believe it or not, that was inspiration VIP, but then we were like, oh, that's a little too that's
too much.
a little trying too hard, you know what I mean? So we decided why don't you just take out the I and put our last names together, and it just worked out perfectly.
So we were struggling. What would we put the name of this agency? I'm like, we thought about Sasquatch agency, everything. Like,
because one thing I forgot to mention, I never told you this is actually our third business.
Together?
Attempt. This is our third attempt.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
The
For
first
the
two,
same kind of business?
No, different. The first two were T-shirts.
All right.
So it was
that's competitive too.
Very competitive.
God.
We underestimated it. Huge. We actually tried to do we tried different things. We tried our own line, and then the second thing we tried was just custom jobs.
Yeah.
And it's just too much time and commitment. We decided to leave that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you
for doing this. I appreciate you
you
guys taking the time. All right. Thank you to Gabriel and Zaida for speaking with me. I really enjoyed hearing about their experiences in a competitive field and appreciated their candor on those tricky topics. Now make sure to visit vpcreativeagency.com if you're looking for advertising and marketing services and want that personal touch that really a local agency can give you. If you'd like to help with the advertising for Table to Stage, then you can leave a rating or a review on Apple Podcasts or whatever service you use to listen to your podcasts, like Podknife or Castbox, Podbean. Those are all great options for non-iPhone users like me. I'd love to hear from you with your thoughts about what you'd like to see for the future of Table to Stage, so send an email to tabletostage@gmail.com. Go ahead, don't be shy. If you'd like to support the show in a more tangible way, you can visit patreon.com/tabletostage to become a monthly contributor, or you can even buy me a coffee. Visit ko-fi.com/table2stage to make a single or a recurring contribution to my caffeine addiction. I have no intention of kicking that habit anytime soon. All right, that's it for this week. Until next time, keep creating.